So I'm Sandra Mundy, I'm a partner in James Cooper Creston. I'm a specialist in business restructuring and insolvency. I'm helping businesses that have insufficient finances to actually try to find some solutions that are positive in very trying circumstances. I initially came to PDW because the firm had decided to invest in some training for senior people. We identified that we probably hadn't done any training of a soft skills nature for most of us probably since we qualified as managers, and in my case that was quite a number of years ago. It was quite an interesting initial conversation that I had with Elan, because I think I'd probably not resolved in my own mind that I was ready for coaching at that point, that I was ready to address some of those issues that I had, but I knew that where I wasn't a good place, but I've been able to suppress some of those things probably for the best part of 30 years. So actually there was a lot of skill involved on Elan's part. It was a lot around her building rapport with me and building trust for me, to enable me to open up to her and to really sort of explore some of those issues that actually some of the issues that I really hadn't identified myself. As a result of this, I'm actually in a better place to coach some of my team and actually to get them to think about things, not necessarily things that are, particularly scary or anything like that, but it's just a bit about asking those open questions. It's about listening to people. It's about playing back to people what it is that their concerns are, and spending some time with them reflecting and planning and working through, and how we're going to get the results and what actions are we going to have coming out of this. I think that's been very positive, and I hope going forward that my team will benefit from the fact that I've been coached by a great coach, and that hopefully some of that to some extent has rubbed off on me and I can impart that to my team. So what was my expectation when I went into coaching? Well, if I'm perfectly honest with you, I thought it was a bit pink, fluffy and woolly, and that it was maybe a bit self-indulgent. The reality is actually very different to that. The reality is that coaching for me was very challenging, but challenging in a good way. The coach that I worked with, they spent a lot of time asking lots of open questions. They listened to what I said. They very rarely proffered any answers to me. I think all the answers were actually within me already, but I needed somebody to help tease those answers out. They used a lot of playback. As I said before, we used some role play to see what reaction I might get from people. But the payoff has been tremendous, because the skills that I learned throughout this, we've used throughout the business, and actually it has meant that where, for example, I've been doing pitches and things like that, I've looked at it from a very different perspective. And whereas I might have lowballed on a price of something before, I now have the confidence. The coaching has given me that confidence and the skills to be able to sort of drill down and get rid of barriers and hurdles. So actually people are prepared to pay for a service more, a greater value for that service, because they value it more. And actually I now value coaching more. It's not that pink and fluffy thing that I thought it was. It's actually giving me the skills which I didn't have before.